What would it mean to be countercultural in leadership today? We know it's popular to be team-oriented, politically savvy in your measured conversations, and focused on getting your team to understand the why behind everything they're doing. But is there a countercultural option that can supercharge your leadership? Let's look at that today on the Beaman Report for August 11, 2014. One of the many balancing acts faced by any leader is the idea of being empathetic and understanding of the challenges faced by their team members. Too much empathy and you risk not being able to make the hard decisions. Too little empathy and you risk becoming a tyrant. Pop culture would have leaders tilt toward the over-empathetic model, as we have learned from political leadership that this is a powerful way to motivate people to action. However, political leadership is quite different than business or even family leadership. Political leadership is all about building an image, whereas, let's call it the real-world leadership, is all about achieving results. So here's a countercultural idea that we in the real world need to get back to. Be honest and straightforward. If we as leaders are successful in our quest to provide a vision and thus a mission to our team, no amount of empathy is going to move that team toward the mark. Honesty and straightforward talk will. Look at the highly successful coaches and successful business people. They share a common thread in that for the most part, they're brutally honest, even in the times that that's not easy. When an objective isn't being met and we analyze the cause of that problem, it's all too easy to be understanding when people who down the line didn't perform tell us the million reasons why they didn't. The simple fact is, though, we need to state our objectives clearly and get the people to acknowledge and accept those objectives, and then we can expect them to perform. Yes, there's a time for coaching and trying to get that underperformer to rise to the expected level, but there is a time as well to state what we in our guts already know, that that person simply isn't cutting it. That's the hard part, isn't it? You either have to let the person go or reassign them to something they can achieve. But when that happens, feelings get involved, and feelings rather than thought can be the death knell to good leadership. In our culture today of feeling rather than thinking, we as leaders owe it to our stakeholders to use our minds every bit as much as we use our hearts in making decisions on behalf of the whole group. This sounds so easy, but how many times have we seen businesses, families, or other groups that seem to be, well, out of control? More often than not, I've found that a key driver behind that chaos is a leader who's trying to be so empathetic, they've forgotten that honesty, no matter how bad it may hurt at the time, is truly the best policy.